All right, we're here with Grandpa David. Hey, Grandpa
Hello.
David.
Hi. Good to have you here.
Thank you. Grandpa David, we're going to do a short session with, and he's going to tell us some stories and pointers. So I'm going to start off the video with, when was the first time you remember using a chainsaw?
I first used a chainsaw with my dad. Of course, it would have been his, and I only remember him having the Steel brand chainsaw. Going out, usually in the wintertime, working with him, cutting him and helping him load and split wood. But it was just a thing he really enjoyed, and I enjoyed doing it with him, is cutting wood with him. Selling it, mostly elm. Elm and oak were the ones that we usually cut in the area of the country that we lived.
Do you know about how long ago this was?
This was when I was a teenager, so that would have been, in the era of going by television. Anyone who knew about the Lost in Space and early Star Trek original series, so that would be in the late 60s, early 70s.
So a long time ago.
A long time ago, and things have surely changed as far as design, and the weight of the chainsaw too is quite a bit lighter now.
All right. What chainsaw brands have you used?
I've used mostly the Steel, and they had Steel bought out Olympic. I really liked Olympic chainsaw. I've used Eccles. Eccles is pretty good, but for the most part, overall, the Steel is probably the best in my opinion. Although I have an Echo right now, and I really like it. If you want power, and it reminds me of the old Olympic, as they use some of the same designs as the Olympic. They just borrowed it, and then that I like too.
You've had Husqvarnas before too, haven't you?
Oh yes, the old Husqvarnas. Now Husqvarna's a good chainsaw, despite my nephews might say different. But the Husky's a good chainsaw too. Several Husqvarna chainsaws.
Okay. Do you have any good stories? Any close calls you've had cutting wood, or?
The close calls with my dad, I might have been holding in a place I shouldn't have been, and while he was cutting up, or it might just tap your glove. You should always wear gloves, by the way. Personal protection equipment, safety glasses, ear protection. I almost always wear that, even when I'm weed eating. But it just touched and nicked my skin, where my dad and I just looked at each other and said, I didn't put myself in that position anymore. So you have to be aware of who you're with and the position that you're in. Put yourself in a safe position. Be safe with it. When you're moving with the chainsaw, always put the saw chain brake on. And that is simply, and this by the way is a MS Steel MS-251, very popular brand. This is taking the brake off. This is putting the brake on. That way it'll protect you if you trip, stumble. The saw chain, it's on brake mode. It won't hurt you or anybody with you. I do it whenever I'm moving, even or climbing. It's just a good habit to do anytime you're moving, and it's so easy to do. Put the brake on. I'll put the brake on right now when you're setting it down, and when you're starting too, put the brake on. And of course your sheath.
Well, you have anything else? Any other pointers as far as actual cutting?
Yes, I do. The actual cutting is is get your log or the item you're cutting, wood, closest to these teeth as you can. They'll help you secure the tree, the wood you're cutting. And also you don't want to ever go anything with the tip of your blade because of what's called kickback. It can actually kick back right to the, and that's not good. You don't want that happening. So keep your brake on, and when you're cutting, don't go in with your tip. Now there's times you can use your tip, but it's actually when you're felling the tree and your tip is already in the tree, or it won't come back and kick back at you. When you're starting it, too, you can either put it between your legs and start it here, or you can put it on the ground and put your foot in the handle and then pull it.
All right, I guess that is it for this video.
Okay, and that's from Walnut Woods, Independence, Kansas.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Good to have you home.
Yeah. Good to be home. So, Dad, as a PS, how many brothers and sisters did you have?
I have 7 brothers and 5 sisters, or had 5 sisters. And my dad and I usually went out, and I really and I think, besides Kenneth, I was probably his favorite.